Hello, Internet welcome back to the channel. My name is Brendan, and today we have on board Mini Rogue with the Depths of Damnation expansion. I love this game. I've played it many a time, so I figured out why not make a video of it on the channel. Plus, I just got a Kickstarter update that the second sort of standalone expansion is coming out in a few months, so I figured why not throw this video up and then can prepare for that to come in the future. So, what is Mini Rogue, you may ask, if you haven't heard of it already. It's a sort of compact, little, quick playing dungeon crawler that plays in about 45 minutes, unless you die before that, or you'll take your chosen character and you'll keep track of some stats and XP and things, and you'll go through basically a set of rooms. So it's like there's 8 cards for each floor of the dungeon. So as you can see over here, there's like a map for keeping track of where you are in the dungeon. And so each floor of the dungeon will have 8 cards. After you flip over the top left corner and resolve that room, you can then choose to either go down orthogonally or right. And you'll keep going down and right, and eventually you'll be funneled to this door card where you'll lose a little bit of food, you'll refresh your character ability, and you'll go down the stairs. You'll keep doing that until you get all the way down to the end, and you're trying to ultimately defeat the final boss. So anytime you are on a floor with the skull icon, you'll flip over the top card of the boss deck. So there's 3 random bosses, and then the last boss is the final boss, who's always the same, which is Og. And the goal is to defeat the final boss in order to win the game. And you'll be doing that by resolving rooms, like I said, and the rooms will often have you rolling dice. So in the beginning of the game, when you're level 1, you start with just 1 die, and then there's a black die to represent the dungeon die, so that can represent monsters, attacks, and other things like that. Every time you hit one of these little white number thresholds, you'll get more white dice added to your dice pool. You can, of course, get poisoned or cursed, and I'll explain how that goes as the game goes along. But the game's like relatively simple, so so XP gives you more dice, as I said. Armor reduces the amount of damage you take from attacks. Health, you lose that, you die. Food, you need food as you go down the dungeon. Gold, you get gold from chests and fighting enemies and stuff. You can use it at merchant or the hunter to buy like meat or new items and that kind of things. Your character has like a couple of special abilities. So I've got a combat ability where I can tap to do double the damage of my shield. Or when I'm exploring, so not in combat, I can choose to raise my armor for the next combat. And we'll be playing on the Roguelike difficulty. So there's multiple difficulties in the game. Roguelike is the hardest. On the Roguelike difficulty, you start with 1 less meat, 2 less health, and 3 less gold. Gold doesn't matter because I don't have any gold, but I get less meat and less health. So that's pretty much it. We'll explain things as we go. So this is my character here in the top left corner. All right, and we've come to a trap. And for this trap, we'll need to be rolling both the, so this is a skill check. So I need to roll a 5 or a 6. Otherwise, something bad's going to happen to me. So not a good, and as you get more dice, obviously, you'll have a higher chance of succeeding in a skill check. But odds are low here, so something bad's about to happen to me. So let's find out what. Okay, I rolled an X and I rolled a 2, so I lose 1 health and I am poisoned. So I'll add the poison die to my dice pool, and I'll take -1 health. So now we'll flip over the next 2 cards orthogonally. Okay. So this card, if we can succeed at it, gives us a special item that we can use to reroll the die in combat. You can also either lose XP or health to reroll the die in combat. Each die in combat can only be rerolled once. Another fun thing about the game is that 6s explode, and they infinitely explode, which means that if you roll a 6, you may roll the die again, and then you add on the next number, and it can keep stacking. But if you ever hit the X, you lose all of that damage. So anyway, so we'll go over here to the armory and try to grab this rusty dagger. So I've got to pass a skill check. So I need to get a 5 or a 6, otherwise I'm not going to get it. So not a great odds here. I do roll the poison die, I believe, because it's part of my thing, so I'm just constantly going to be potentially taking damage. Okay, didn't get it. It would have been a pretty decent weapon, but it's all right. We didn't take any poison damage, so that's what matters more, I guess. Ooh, there's a fountain. Oh, there's a secret passage. Ooh. So this is the expansion mechanic where you draw these lore cards, which are really fun. But I am going to go to the fountain, I think. Try to get some healing, maybe, or something. I could throw in a coin, but I don't have any coins, so I'm just going to roll the black die and hope for the best. Just don't want to, as long as I don't get a 2, things will be good. I got a 1, so I get +1 coin, so I just stole a coin out of a fountain, basically. Alright, so now we can go, okay, the empty shelter. Or we can go to the damp cave. Damp cave is pretty good for getting food. This thing kind of gives us generally guaranteed good rewards, and it'll heal us for 3 health. So let's go down here. So when you come here, your health gets put up to 10. If it's higher than 10, nothing happens. So that's good. And then I'm going to roll all 3 of my dice, because if I get a 5 or a 6, I can increase or decrease the value that I rolled on the black die by 1. All right, I rolled a 4, so I didn't succeed at the skill check, so whatever 4 is, I have to take. And 4 is the cleric shelter, so I can either take a holy potion or a healing potion. So the healing potion gives you 6 health, and the holy cures poison, curse, and blindness. Probably gonna take the holy potion and just use it right away. Just get rid of my poison. So, yeah, no longer poisoned. So that was not a great floor for me. I didn't really get any XP. But at least I'm not poisoned anymore, I guess. So that's the good thing. So yeah, we come here. We go down by 1 food. We reset our character ability, which is already good. And then we go down the stairs. So we'll go down a level. So now we'll be shuffling up these cards plus all the other cards. And we'll just see. We'll do a lot to 8 cards. But because this is a boss level, we'll flip over this boss card first so you guys can take a peek. Ooh, we're fighting the Cursed Dragon. Oh boy. So he's going to end up having 12 health when we get to him. He does 2 damage and curses us if he hits us. The cool thing is that if we can somehow manage to get 1 more armor before we get to him. Oh, actually, I have an ability that raise the shield of all players by 1 for the next room only. So if I use that ability, it should give me 2 armor for that combat, which means I shouldn't take any curse, because the curse only affects you if you take damage from the attack. And I have 1 armor, so having 2 would be really nice. I hope I can get in some more combats. I need to get some XP to get leveled up before I get to that second boss. Alright, gonna over shuffle. By the way, I'm not only I do enjoy a sleeved card. I try not to sleeve too many solo or co-op games, but with this game, because you end up shuffling the entire deck of cards like so many times, it's just kind of worth it to have them sleeved. Found ourselves a trap. Oh boy. Alright, so this is another, we're just gonna roll both dice and just hope for the best. Alright, we got a 3. Oh, what the heck is that? -1 armor and I'm blind? Alright, this run's over. It's actually cooked. Alright, so I'm blind, so I don't get to know where I'm going, so I'm just gonna go this way. Corridor. Great. If I fall through on the rickety planks, I'm actually just gonna like rage quit. Okay, I got a 3. So I get +1 food, so that's not bad. Let's go to the center. Oh, it's the shelter. Okay, we're already at 10. Hopefully we can get some kind of healing here. So I mean, the holy potion, that's what I really need. But as long as I don't get well, I guess there's a few options I don't want, but. Got an X and a 5. Wow, -3 health. Thanks, shelter. Okay, here we go. Could heal myself, I could get food, or I can take 1 XP. Man, 1 XP feels like nothing, but it is 1/6 of the way to 2 dice. I have not found any XP yet, which is truly bad. So I'll just take the XP. So since my combat ability is going to do literally nothing because I have no shield now because I lost it, I'm just going to exhaust and increase my armor by 1 temporarily for this fight. Finally, we found an enemy, and it's the first boss. He has 12 health. This is okay. I'm really needing like a nice crit here or something. This is a bad start to this run. All right, so combat. Well, let's explain as it goes. Not really too much to explain here, but whatever number I roll is how much damage I'm going to be doing. Oh, okay. So I exploded, and he got a 6. So the enemy, normally it's just like however much damage it says they do is how much they do. If they get a 1, they miss. If they get a 6, they go through your armor. So I have 1 armor because of my ability, but so this is going to do full damage to me, all 2. But I got a 6. So if I can roll something good here on my explosion, maybe he'll at least be down to like low health. Oh, okay. So, time to take a feat. So I can either lose 1 XP or 2 health. I really don't want to lose that XP. I just got it. I'm going to go down to 5 health. Actually, is that a bad idea? Because I'm going to get hit by him for 2. I'm going to lose 1 XP to reroll this die. Alright, I only get 1 reroll. So 1 reroll per die per roll. So, oh, okay. I did 11 damage to him. He's down to 1. Sorry, I'm not going to complain too much, but anyway, so he does the full 2 damage to me, and now I'm cursed, so I'll add that. Then we'll go to the next round of combat. So now that I'm cursed, there's a 50% chance that my dice rolls get knocked down by 1, basically. Okay, so I critted, but because I'm cursed, this 6 becomes a 5. But either way, he's dead, because you do damage first in combat, so. Terrible start to this run. So I get 2 XP, which is great. And then I get the rewards. So I get 2 gold, and then I roll just the black die, nothing else, to see what reward we get. Would really love some armor or like a holy potion or something to cure my blindness. Blindness is really bad in this game. I got a 6, which is either eyesight or armor. I have to take the eyesight potion, I think. Being blind is just not the move. So I'm just going to use it immediately. Technically, I get a potion, but I'm just going to use it immediately. All right, so the cursed dragon is defeated. The perception potion. Actually, you can also use it to succeed at a skill check, but whatever. It does not cure my curse though, so I'm still cursed, unfortunately. All right, so now we go down to food. We unexhaust. We go to the second floor of the dungeon. So now that we're on the second floor, enemies will generally be stronger. Not that we would know, because we haven't seen really any enemies yet, besides that dragon. So here's hoping we can stumble upon 4 XP in the next two rooms, or the next 2 floors. I don't know what they're called. They're not called floors. They're not called rooms. Areas of the floor. I don't know. Anyway, whatever they're called, I gotta get 4 XP so I can get to 2 dice. Because if I can't get to 2 dice by the time I get to the second boss, then I'm gonna be hurting. Plus, I don't have any armor. It's just all bad. It's all bad for the Crusader right now. This might be a quick game. It's how it is sometimes, but usually you can make it pretty decently far, and but yeah, RNG can just hit you. I don't say it's so super RNG, but it's definitely got a strong hit of it. Ooh, okay, here we go. Found some treasure. So this says if we get 1 gold, or if we already did 2 combat, essentially, or trap encounters, we get more gold, but we haven't found any yet, clearly. That's for like this area. So I get 1 gold, and then we're gonna roll this, and this. So I need to succeed in order to open this chest, which is once again not likely, but oh, that's so terrible. This curse knocks my 5 into a 4, so oh well, at least I'm not blind anymore. All right, that is a monster who does 4 damage per hit. But we really need the XP, so I think we're just gonna fight him. I mean, we can take 1 hit from him and live. So this might be a fast game today, which should be fun. Oh yeah, before I into this room. I'm going to double my shield, or I'm going to add 1 shield, sorry. So I guess I'll only take 3 damage if he hits me, but still I can only take 1 hit of 3 damage. Alright, come on, explosion. Oh man, I'm cursed too. It's just all bad. There's the curse, so I only do 3 damage. So he had 9 health, he's down to 6. That's super bad. And I can't... Rerolling the 4 is kind of a bad idea. Especially I'm already cursed anyway with this hit. Okay, whatever. We might just be playing a fast game today. So I hit him. He hits me for 4 minus 1, so it's 3 down to 2. He could miss. So he has a 1 in 6 chance of missing, and I have a 1 in 6 chance of killing him. But then there's also the curse, so it's just... Okay, a curse and an X. Well, that's not a good combo. I don't think there's anything I can do to live here. Because even if I get a 6, it gets knocked down to a 5, and he lives with 1 HP. Well, that was an exceedingly fast video. Oh wait. If I get a 6, it comes a 5. Yeah. This curse really didn't do any good. Well, there you go. That's Mini Rogue. Boom, bam, pow. Super fast video. Man, that was like one of the worst runs I ever had. Terrible luck. It's how it goes sometimes, unfortunately. But usually you can just brush it off, reset the cards, start again. Like I said, there's that lore. There's that lore room. It's called Secret Passage, where you draw a lore card. There's also a couple other cards that the Depths of Damnation adds that let you hit a lore card. They're a little bit maybe rare than some people would like, but you definitely. I feel like I see them like once per game or every other game, but they've got some cool stuff where you read some text and you're given sort of a decision, and sometimes the decision you make is based upon your class as well. So like, for example, this one, if you're like the mage or the witch or whatever, you can use your ingredients to brew a potion. Otherwise, you've got to take this combat encounter, for example. That kind of thing. So there's some fun little bits of story there. There's also this other kind of module where you play through like a campaign and you're using this board to track your abilities that you choose as you go from game to game. And it's got some story about Ogg's blood. So Ogg's remains is the final boss, and the ultimate goal is to claim Ogg's blood, which is this special like blood diamond, like a gem, a jewel. But it seems I'm thinking maybe that the second game is going to have something to do. It's going to probably tie into the story of the first game. There's like a little bit of not like it's a super deep story, but there's a little bit of kind of some options and choices there, and some interesting things that happen with the cursed treasure and stuff. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the game. It also comes with this module where you can choose your stance, where like you can flip back and forth, where you can like get more defense, but then if you're balanced, which is like default, so you miss on misses and you crit on crits. And then you're aggressive, where it's easier to crit, but it's also easier to miss. So lots of game packed in this tiny, sort of mostly inexpensive package. But yeah, once that Kickstarter delivers for the next season of Mini Rogue, which is called, I think, The Council, I'll be showing that off on the channel. The Council looks pretty interesting because it's obviously got like a Mini Rogue, and it's got its own little expansion. But then there's a new mode where you can play against a dungeon master who's controlling the enemies and stuff, so that might be kind of interesting. I think there's also a way to play that dungeon master mode solo, so we'll have to see when that comes out. Anyway, I feel like I haven't uploaded a video. Why not just play Mini Rogue? It'll go so great. Joke's on me. Another news though, I do have Cloudspire 20 strong coming to me within the next week, so I will be showing that off on the channel. Excited for that one. Figured I would knock the dust off and get some dice rolling. So now all the bad rolls are gone. So that Cloudspire game is going to go great. Also got, what else? Witchcraft, some other things kind of up on the channel. If you have any thoughts for what I should check out, feel free to leave them in comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching this quick video. Peace out.